British Columbia's Gulf Islands are truly a magical place. The hectic pace of city life seems far away, and people take the time to stop and smell the roses. Sit back and relax as we take you on a journey through the seasons of our island property and introduce you to some of the birds and other animals that share it with us. When people think about the Gulf Islands, they think of the ocean. The ocean is a big part of why we live here. But the other attraction is the climate and the possibilities that it presents. The Gulf Islands are located in the southwest corner of British Columbia, between the mainland and Vancouver Island. Protected by the mountains of Vancouver Island, the climate is moderate and drier than other areas of the west coast, creating a perfect environment for all types of plant and animal life. It truly is serendipitous. March 21st is officially the beginning of spring. In many parts of Canada, people are still waiting for the snow to melt. Here on the west coast, the gardens are already showing their colors, awakening from their winter slumber. The birds are happy to see the end of winter, announcing the arrival of spring with a loud chorus of a cappella bird song. They're getting ready for their spring fling, when they will mate, build nests, and raise young. These are rufous hummingbirds. They arrive about the first day of spring. After their long journey from Mexico, they are hungry, so the feeders are busy places. Hummingbirds are really amazing creatures. The wings beat 85 times a second, giving them the unique ability to hover in one spot and even fly backwards. Once they find a feeder, they will guard it, challenging other hummingbirds. No one ever seems to get hurt in this display of aerial acrobatics. Personally, I think it's just their way of having fun. The brilliant red patch on the male's throat is called a gorget. The males and females will fan their tails when they're in an aggressive mood. They will even attack bigger birds or squirrels when protecting their nest. This hummingbird is trying to chase off a towhee, 3 times his size. If you get hummingbirds at your feeder, keep it full. 1 part sugar to 4 parts water. Remember to use just white sugar. Brown sugar or other sweeteners can give the little guys tongue fungus. The feeders are a great way to attract them to your garden, but they also look for tube-like flowers like honeysuckle and foxglove. Red is definitely the color of choice for hungry hummers. Keep the feeders full and they will remember your yard and be back the following year. Deer are a common sight in the Gulf Islands because they're natural predators. Cougars and wolves rarely make the ferry ride. Many islanders have a love-hate relationship with the deer. They are lovely, gentle creatures, but they will eat anything they bump into. Flowers and shrubs are a tasty snack and a nice treat after eating evergreen branches all winter. These are black-tailed deer, and these islanders aren't shy. This doe is about 3 meters from my office window. People try all types of methods to keep the deer away. Dog hair in a stocking, mothballs in a stocking, cayenne pepper. My partner sprays her favorite plants with diluted insecticidal soap. In 10 years, the only thing that I've seen that really works is a tall fence. Robins are always a welcome sight in the spring. They are pleasant companions in the garden with their loud caroling music. Robins will nest near the ground, and the female will usually lay 4 eggs. The first brood will hatch in April or May. They are a hungry group that keep the parents busy. Robins will have 2 to 3 broods a year. The youngsters are in the air 14 to 16 days after hatching. In the bird world, eagles are truly noble creatures. If you watch them for a while, you begin to realize they're not afraid of anything in their environment. Nothing seems to faze them, and they never hurry. They are masters of their domain. These are bald eagles, and they mate for life. The young are born in early May in a nest that the pair comes back to every year. This nest is on the edge of our property, 200 feet above us. The parents are very attentive. One of them is almost always on the nest or very close by. They are on the lookout for ravens and crows who, if given the chance, will kill and eat young eaglets. They only produce 1 or 2 offspring a year, so they are a precious commodity. Bald eagles like to nest near the ocean, and their favorite food, fish. They also eat small mammals and waterfowl. In the fall, these eagles feast on spawning salmon in the rivers of Vancouver Island. This pair only has 1 youngster this year, and it has a voracious appetite. The eaglet will grow quickly, spending his days eating and sleeping in the nest. So, like all adults with children, the parents are busy hunting and gathering all day. We have a wetland nearby, and it's a great place for bird watching. The Canada geese return to their northern nesting sites every spring. All this flapping and honking is just family squabbling. The adult birds are chasing the yearlings away from their nesting sites. The goslings are born in the early spring, and the parents get them in the water right away. The goslings spend most of their days swimming around the pond and eating. Unlike young eagles, they forage for themselves. Lucky for the parents who have a lot of mouths to feed. The young families will spend the summer in the same pond. Canada geese return to the same nesting site every year. The parents teach the young the migratory highway to the south in the fall, where the families stay together for the winter. They return north in the spring, and eventually the yearlings will leave in search of a mate and a new family group. The summer solstice occurs on June 21st and is the longest day of the year and the first day of summer. Our gardens are in full bloom and the birds are settling into their routine of raising their young. This deer quietly followed his nose right into our rose bush. My partner gave me heck for not scaring off this freeloader, but it was a photo op I couldn't resist. You don't normally see the deer in the middle of the day this close to your house eating your flowers. We have lots of woodpeckers in the area. This is a flicker, one of the larger woodpeckers. This flicker is about to have his dinner interrupted by the CEO of the woodpecker world. The pileated is the largest woodpecker in North America. They can be as big as 40 centimeters or 19 inches in length. When they are working on a tree, it sounds more like a person chopping wood than a peck. About 75 days after being born, the young eagle is grown quickly and is getting ready for his first flight. You can identify the juvenile eagles because they don't have the distinctive white head yet. Water, of course, is one of the essential ingredients for a successful garden. For many Gulf Island gardeners, water is scarce. We all depend on well water, and many wells dry out in the summer months, especially as more people come. Some areas of the Gulf Islands receive as little as 650 millimeters of rainfall annually, and water conservation is part of the lifestyle. If it's yellow, let it mellow is a Gulf Island mantra and proper washroom etiquette. We are fortunate to have plenty of water beneath our property and can grow whatever we wish. Many gardeners will plant native or drought-tolerant species, like this wild elderberry. When we first moved onto the property, there were a lot of slugs. Over the years, as we have cut down trees and opened up the canopy, allowing more sunlight in, we have attracted nature's slug control agents, garter snakes. Garter snakes love baby slugs. With more snakes every year, slugs are no longer a problem. As September arrives, the hummers are preparing for their long journey back to Mexico and will soon leave us. In the closing days of summer, the spiders and their webs seem to be everywhere. Spiders are a natural predator of insects, and the work they do in the fall will help ensure that bugs aren't a problem in the spring. September 21st is the first day of fall, but on the West Coast, it just feels like an extension of summer. The nights begin to cool, but the daytime temperatures remain warm right through October. Some birds are thinking about heading south for the winter, while others are happy to stay with us, especially if we keep our feeders full. Towhees, chickadees, wrens, sparrows, and the woodpeckers will spend the winter with us. Their pleasant chatter and chirping is especially welcome during the dreary days of fall and winter. The squirrels are busy collecting nuts and seeds to get them through the winter. They will hide goodies all over their area, licking them with their scent so they can find them later. The squirrels compete with the stellar jays, the juvenile delinquents of the bird world. Jays will spend the winter with us as well. With their bold and brash demeanor, they provide the entertainment while the hummers are away on vacation. The famous West Coast rain arrives around early November, and it's true, some years it feels like the rain never leaves. We need the rain to fill our underground aquifers and cisterns. It's a good time of the year for indoor hobbies, like planting the garden for next year. And like the old saying goes, you don't have to shovel it. December 21st is the first day of winter, and normally it's still mild and raining. West Coasters console themselves with the fact that it's green and will be green all winter. December 21st is also the winter solstice and the shortest day of the year, which means that on December 22nd, the days begin to get longer. This rotting alder tree is full of bugs and has become a favorite woodpecker tree. This pileated was so busy that he totally ignored me, even though I was right below him. Woodpeckers use their long, sticky tongues to catch bugs or lick sap. Pileated are the master wood choppers of the bird world. I had to cut this tree down before the woodpeckers dropped it on my driveway. You can see where the creator of Woody Woodpecker got his inspiration. Normally on the West Coast, if we do get a blast of winter, it comes in January or February. It even snows on rare occasions. It's a good time to hunker down, close to the wood stove. The creatures head for shelter and everyone just sits tight until the rain comes back and melts the snow. Hydro on the islands is precarious at best, and we all know that snow usually means that at some point we will lose power. Over the years, we have turned power outages into a special time for the children. We all gather around the wood stove and have a picnic in the living room. The key to enjoying a blackout is to be prepared. Make sure there is extra water, maybe fill the bathtub with water, check for candles, test the flashlights, and make sure there is food that can be cooked on the wood stove. Of course, our friends outside don't worry about power outages. They just follow the rhythm of the seasons. It's early March. As the snow from this freak storm melts almost as fast as it fell, the crocuses are revealed. West Coast gardeners, especially in the Gulf Islands, know that the crocuses really do mean that spring and another year in the garden has arrived.